Hey there, friends! Welcome back to our channel. Today, we have some exciting news to share with you about the latest political developments. According to a recent poll, it seems that Joe Biden's performance in the most recent debate may have left a mark on his standing among voters. But fear not, because Vice President Harris and former Secretary of State Clinton are still in strong positions to secure the nomination. So, let's dive into the details. The poll, which was conducted by Quinnipiac University and covered around 900 potential voters nationwide, revealed that after their last face-off, Joe Biden came out with just 44% approval. This is a significant drop from the 49% he had after his previous debate with Bernie Sanders. While this might not be good news for Biden's supporters, there's still hope. The poll also saw Vice President Harris gaining ground, with her support increasing from 25% to 30%. And let's not forget about Hillary Clinton, whose numbers also went up from 17% to 21%. Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders maintains his lead at 33%, followed by Bloomberg at 17%, and Steyer and Warren both at 10%. Interestingly enough, Biden still leads among African American voters at 46%, while Harris is ahead among Latino voters at 38%. We're going to discuss how Democrats are looking to Kamala Harris as a potential candidate for the 2024 presidential election, and we'll also explore her chances of beating Trump, as the midterm elections are around the corner. Many Democrats are contemplating their options for the 2024 presidential elections. One name that keeps coming up is Vice President Kamala Harris. Some Democratic strategists believe that after two failed campaigns and a tumultuous presidency, Republicans may be hesitant to put their faith in Donald Trump again. However, it's also worth noting that Trump himself has not ruled out running for office once more. When it comes to a hypothetical matchup between Trump and Harris in 2024, some polls suggest that Trump would emerge victorious with 51% of the vote, while others indicate that he might even win with 58%. On the other hand, if we look at matchups between other Democratic candidates and Trump, it seems that Biden might lose with 46% or 47% of the vote. So there you have it. While Kamala Harris is certainly a strong contender for Democrats looking ahead to 2024, she might not fare as well against Trump compared to other Democratic candidates. We're diving into some interesting statistics about President Biden's polling numbers after his debate with former President Trump. So, buckle up and let's get started. You might be surprised to hear that President Biden's polling numbers actually didn't take as much of a hit as expected following his debate with Trump. In fact, Biden only lost around 1% in the battleground states to both candidates. Now, let's break down the specifics. Trump gained 2% from Biden among those who watched the debate. However, he only managed to win back a fraction of his supporters, bringing in only 20% of those who voted for him in 2020. Meanwhile, DeSantis gained an impressive 3% from both Trump and Biden voters, suggesting that he might just be the new frontrunner in the GOP race. But why didn't Biden suffer more damage post-debate? Well, here's where things get interesting. The majority of voters, about 75%, left the debate early or didn't watch it at all. In fact, only about a third of voters tuned in nationwide. So it seems that many were already decided on their vote anyway. So there you have it, folks. President Biden's polling numbers weren't as severely impacted by his debate with Trump as expected. It just goes to show that voter opinions can sometimes be influenced by factors beyond just the debates themselves. We have some exciting news to share with you. According to recent polls, other Democratic candidates are outperforming Joe Biden when it comes to facing off against Trump. So let's dive into this interesting topic. A new poll by Quinnipiac University reveals that while Biden is still leading in the Democratic primary race, his support has dropped to just 28%. In fact, Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren are now tied for second place at 19%. Meanwhile, a Monmouth University poll shows a different picture. Here, Biden is still ahead with 30% support, but he's closely followed by Sanders and Amy Klobuchar at 20% each. On the other hand, Warren and Pete Buttigieg trail behind with 14% and 13%, respectively. When we look at how these candidates fare against Trump in a hypothetical general election matchup, the results vary. While Biden is consistently leading with about 48% support nationwide, Sanders and Warren fare better against Trump than they do against each other. For example, Sanders stands at 45%, Warren at 44%, and Buttigieg at just 38%. It's important to remember that these polls are taken before any debates or major campaign events have taken place, so we'll have to keep an eye on how these rankings change over time. We're diving into the latest developments in the Biden vs. Trump race, as new polls suggest a significant shift after Trump's debate disaster. So, let's get into it. Just a few days ago, we reported on a Fox News poll showing that Biden was leading Trump by a whopping 12 points. And now, it seems that Trump's poor performance at the debate has only further solidified Biden's lead. The latest polls reveal that Biden is leading by an even bigger margin, with a staggering 15-point lead in Florida and a 13-point lead nationwide. Interestingly enough, Trump himself admitted that his debate strategy was off base, and that he used to win debates, but it seems like this time around, he just couldn't get it right. His approval rating has dropped to an all-time low of just 39%, while Biden's has risen to an impressive 59% approval. And here's something else to note: more than half of voters believe Biden won the debate, while only about a quarter say Trump emerged victorious. So, what does this all mean for our presidential race? Well, it certainly appears that the Biden in Florida strategy might just be paying off for the former vice president. We're diving into some interesting political news. According to a recent poll, Joe Biden is trailing behind Donald Trump in Wisconsin, with older voters showing more support for the former president. Let's delve into this fascinating development. As of August 2022, a poll conducted by the Marquette Law School shows that if the presidential election were held today, former President Donald Trump would be leading President Joe Biden by a narrow margin of 47% to 46%. This is quite a shift from July's results, where Biden had a slight lead of 48% to 46%. One group that seems to be swaying towards Trump are older voters. In August's poll, 51% of those aged 60 and above favored Trump, while in July, only 48% did. On the other hand, younger voters under 30 continue to show strong support for Biden, with his approval rating remaining at 64%. It's interesting to see these changing dynamics among older voters. While these findings are significant and suggest that Trump could potentially win Wisconsin if the election were held today, based on these results alone, it's crucial to remember that polls can change over time, and that this is just one snapshot in time. That's all for today's political update. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more trending news and insights. Until next time, stay informed and keep the conversation going.